Filmwar, let's cut the shit. This is a movie trivia game show, podcast, whatever. So every second not spent playing movie games is a second wasted. There's only one rule. You may not say the word Goonies aloud at any point, or you risk losing all of your points to date. This is the 50th episode of Filmwar. Only 50 more until syndication. It's a celebration, and tonight will feature no ordinary games. This will be a creative game-only episode. Expect a lot of drop threads and half-baked plots. Tonight we have Dalton. Tonight we have George. Tonight we have Greg. Tonight we have Jordan. Tonight we have Justin. Tonight we have Kris. Tonight we have Lee. Tonight we have Matt. Packed house tonight. Thanks for coming out to celebrate our milestone. Though, by the way this show usually goes, none of you will still be playing by the time we hit episode 60. Our contestants will be playing for the prestigious prize of Turner Hooch on LaserDisc, our first non-VHS prize, so I'm sure you are each hungry to make Filmwar history here tonight.
This game is called The Pitch.
This game is called The Pitch by Committee. I will give one of our contestants a brand new film title. That person will begin to craft a plot and then hand it off to another contestant when I tell them to. That contestant will pick it up from there and then pass to another contestant, and so on and so on. Whoever contributes to the plot the best, in my opinion, will receive 3 points. So we're going to go around the room. I'm going to start with Jordan. You're at the top of the season leaderboard here.
Oh, fuck.
The title of the pitch is The Last Chance. So I want you to start the pitch off, and I'm going to stop you and give it to someone else here in a moment.
Okay. Well, The Last Chance is a movie that opens with someone receiving a terminal diagnosis. So, you know, it's their last chance to do some kind of big thing. It's like, sorry, that's, now I feel like...
All right, Dalton, pick it up from there.
Please take it, yes.
So they decide they've got this bucket list. They've got this list of like 50 things they're going to do before they die. And they're going to start, you know, going down this list. And this is their last chance, you know, to get all these things done that they want done. So.
All right, George, pick it up from there.
So they're huge fans of Michael Bay films. And so they're going to try to follow in chronological order each one on to create a bucket list. And it takes place in the 70s as well.
Okay, Greg, pick it up from there.
As they get through their bucket lists, about halfway through, they come to find out that it was a misdiagnosis. But then, as it turns out, there's an asteroid coming for the planet anyway.
Justin, pick it up from there.
And one of the biggest things about these lists is that each of them has one secret thing on the list that they are saving for the very last thing. So now, you know, when the diagnosis fell through, there were kind of some questions about, well, do we still do it? Or, you know, we just say we've done this many cool things, but not get to the big one since it's not quite as time crucial. But then the asteroid starts the timer back up again. So it's kind of cute.
All right, Lee, pick it up from there.
As he discovers that there is an asteroid coming and the clock is ticking, he's getting closer to knocking things off his list. But then he meets a scientist that's telling him about even more information about the asteroid, and then finds out that he had a child with this person, and they are about 13. So he has to determine whether or not he's going to finish his bucket list, or this is his last chance to make a connection with his only child.
That's layers, baby. Matt, pick it up from there.
I'm last, right?
I maybe. We'll see how you end it.
The asteroid hits Earth and everyone dies. The end.
All right. The Last Chance by the Filmwar crew. All right. I'm going to give every single one of you 3 points. So you're all going to start the game off with 3 points. That was a good one. I didn't think it was going to go down so easy, but you guys held it together pretty quickly.
My favorite part was that that it was set in the 70s, but also the character is a Michael Bay fan.
Yeah. I really like that it spoke to the truth of the human condition there by the end.
This game is called Mergers and Acquisitions.
All right, this will be a fun game. This game is called Mergers and Acquisitions. I will choose 2 films for you out of this bucket, and you will have to merge those 2 films' plots into one cohesive plot. I will choose the top 3 plots and give them each 5 points. I will give you each 1 redraw if you're not satisfied with your first pull. Matt, we're going to start with you since you ended it last time. Your 2 films. Apocalypse Now and Planet Terror from Grindhouse.
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't seen either of these movies.
You haven't seen either of those films, so I assume you're going to want your redraw then.
Yeah, let's go ahead and redraw.
Right. You only get one redraw, though, so it's the one you're going to have to go with.
It's going to be rough.
Anchorman and Lost in Translation.
Okay, well, I have seen both of those films. So, to merge these two films? Okay.
Yes, in some way, you have to take elements from both films and turn them into one film plot.
All right. Well, Bill Murray is on a trip, meets up with Scarlett Johansson, and during that trip, they break into a news anchor, a news station, where they run into Will Ferrell and team from Anchorman. I guess Rob Burgundy. It's been a while. I don't know.
Yeah. Are Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson playing their characters from Lost in Translation?
Yes, they are. I don't remember their characters' names, so you know.
Okay. All right.
But I got nothing on this one. Go ahead.
So this is like Abbott and Costello meet the werewolf. You know, this is just straight up merging these characters.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I need a title from you for this film that connects both of these.
Lost in a News Station.
Lost in a News Station. Matt's merging of Anchorman and Lost in Translation. All right, Lee, you're next. I'm going to choose your two films, and those films are Speed Racer and Groundhog's Day.
No,
I did once describe Speed Racer to him in detail. Whether or not he remembers it is...
I know there was a monkey and lots of colors.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
And
You
John
got
Goodman.
the meat and potatoes of it.
Okay. Okay, so Bill Murray is a weatherman and finds out that he's got to go to Punxsutawney, and so he does. But then what happens is he gets into a time loop, and everyone thinks it's going to be the plot of Groundhog Day. But what happens is, and while he's spending all this time in there, he finds out that if he goes faster than the speed of light in this race car that he develops with all this knowledge, that he can get out of the time loop. But unbeknownst to him, there are other people that have also been in this town forever, and then they discover his technology, and then they all have a ultra mega race in news vans from the 90s with microwave boosters that used to be like the microwave transmitters on top of the van, but they're boosters now. And then other, like, the old ladies are actually, they used to be young, but they've been there so long that it doesn't affect anyway. But they have to race to break out of the loop. Will they break out of the loop? I don't know. Maybe they will. You have to watch the movie to find out.
It's very Ready Player One, if anyone's seen that.
Yeah, that's kind of like, yes, there is a Ready Player One.
Like the news van is a different kind of car. It's very Mario Kart-esque. All right, do you have a title for this film, Lee?
Ground Speed Day.
Ground Speed Day.
Yes.
All right, that's good. Our next person is Justin. I'm going to choose two films for you now. I've got Donnie Darko and World War Z. Would you like to take a stab at that one, or would you like a repoll?
Let's go for it.
All right, Donnie Darko and World War Z, a merger by Justin.
And World War Z. So we do. I think an easy way to combine these would be to throw in the time loop idea, where, the movie kind of starts off with something that may or may not be affecting the rest of the film. That could be tied into the new creatures that are causing an issue. Maybe it's not straight up zombies. Maybe they are some sort of time zombies. Who are feeding on the temporal.
Tell me more.
So instead of just your life force, they are feeding off of the temporal energy stored within you from continuing through this time loop. The more times you make it through this loop, the more of this energy has kind of been attracted to your body. So that is what they are attracted to. That's what they're trying to feed on. And they seem to be picking off the people who have done the most loops because they have the most of this energy connected to them.
Okay, that's fantastic. Do you have a title for this?
Title.
Oh shit! Justin just went away.
Damn, cliffhanger.
Damn, that was such a good pitch too. Problem we have with having so many guests. Well, hopefully he can join us again. All right, we'll go ahead, move ahead. Hopefully he joins us again. He had a great pitch there. He was very much in the running for the points. Jordan, we're going to go to you. I'm going to choose your 2 films now. Got Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Twister. You want to keep them or you want to repull?
No, I'll keep them.
Okay.
I mean, I've at least seen them both, so I would be able to come up with something. So, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but Twister. In this movie, Bill and Ted are a couple of tornado chasers, and they've got there's a storm front coming in, right? And they're getting ready to go chase this storm, and they stop at a gas station on their way out to get whatever gas station it is in the movie, right? It's like a 7-Eleven or something, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's a Circle K, I believe.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. And so they stop at a Circle K to get some stuff, and when they're coming out of it, they're just getting some like last minute drink or whatever to have on the way to the fucking tornado, right? And George Carlin is, whatever. You drive on the road for a job a lot, you do that shit, right? You stop at a Casey's or whatever. And then when they're going out there, George Carlin is there, right as they're getting ready to go, and he gives them some kind of ominous warning of some type, right? But then they go out to the tornado anyway, and then when they end up getting their truck it goes into the tornado, and it's kind of a Wizard of Oz thing, I guess, to some degree too, right? But then the tornado, it's instead of the phone booth, the tornado becomes like a time travel mechanism of some sort, right?
A lot of time-based stories we're going into tonight. Does anybody notice that?
You are the one who is picking a lot of time travel-based movies for us to merge.
I'm not picking them. I put them in this bucket. God's picking them.
Yeah, blame God.
And then they have to travel through time to different eras via tornadoes, assembling a team that can help them figure out how to stop a tornado. I don't know. That's getting a little confusing.
I like that. I say keep spinning that thread.
So travel with tornadoes. What a plot twist. Sure.
Well, yeah.
So they gotta make like the multiversal tornado.
Okay, so they have to travel in time via tornadoes, assembling a team that can help them figure out how to stop the tornadoes from happening in the first place, which then closes the loop, and the whole thing never happens, and it ends with them being regular. They're back at the Circle K or whatever, and they're just gonna go back to the news. Well, we got some footage of that tornado or whatever, and they're gonna go back to the news station, and then there's George Carlin is there, and he winks at the camera. Roll credits.
Okay, that's a full pitch. What is your title, Jordan?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Twister. I don't know.
Right on the money. It doesn't need much of the imagination. You know what you're getting when you walk into that theater. All right, Kris, I'm choosing 2 movies for you, and those 2 movies are Requiem for a Dream and Taxi Driver.
I've never seen either movie.
Ooh, I would say take the reroll then.
Yeah, let's go with the reroll.
All right. Kris is going to take another his reroll, and his 2 films now are Boogie Nights and Babe, Pig in the City. Can't wait to hear this one.
Oh gosh. And I got to turn this into some other coherent or otherwise
some sort of connected plot.
Boogie Nights and Babe Pig in the City.
All right, think about that, Kris.
Yeah.
Justin, glad to have you back. Cut out there at the end of your pitch. Do you have any more words you'd like to add to it? And do you have a title?
A title, I'm going to go with, it says Cellar Door, and then the word door is crossed out, and it's Cellar War. Because their whole spiel about Cellar Door being those beautiful words. But I think that's it for my pitch.
So it's Cellar Door, but Cellar War. Really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gives you the visual of Cellar Door in case that's too subtle. But then they cross that out and let you know it's a war now.
This isn't your mom and dad's Cellar Door.
Right.
This is new Cellar Door. All right, Kris. Boogie Nights and Babe Pig in the City.
Oh my goodness. How do I not turn this?
It's a tough pull.
It is. It is. It can go wrong in so many ways.
If you've seen the very first episode of Black Mirror, a lot of your work is done for you here.
Again, shocking, I know, but I haven't. That bad, huh?
Yeah.
It definitely pulls elements from both plots.
Really? Babe has we fast forwarded, and he's no longer a young piglet, but he's all grown up now. And, and has found that making adorable pig movies when you're a kid doesn't cut it anymore. And he thinks that maybe he could branch out into filmmaking and find his way down other avenues behind the camera. And so he oh man, I really got nothing.
Pigs fucking pigs, I believe, is your pitch, Kris.
What?
I love it.
Pigs making porn.
Yeah, pigs making porn.
I was gonna try not to go straight to the animal sex, but what the hell can you do with pigs? Right.
All sex is animal sex.
Did you just give him his title?
Yes, Babe 3, all sex is animal sex. There.
Kris is Babe 3, all sex is animal sex. I do love this show. Can't believe that we made the 50 episodes, guys. I'm gonna have to burn this piece of paper.
Stands with Babe standing in front of a mirror saying, "This is me."
Kris is going for the win tonight. Wasn't even here for the first game. Still going for the win. Greg, you're next up. I'm going to choose your two films for you now. The two films you must merge are Children of Men and Shutter Island. You want to take them or you want to reroll?
Better reroll.
Reroll. All right.
Won't do any good.
Oh, shit. Yeah. For the purpose of the show, it went a lot better than I think Taxi Requiem would have done.
But probably true.
I see a common thread between these two. Your two films are Gatsby and Mulholland Drive.
Of the four potential shows, I've seen 0 of them.
You've never seen Mulholland Drive, Greg? You should.
Not that I remember. If I did, it was a long time ago.
All right. I'll give someone an extra point for describing what Mulholland Drive is to Greg. First come, first serve. 3 point.
A fever dream.
Yeah, it's Mulholland Drive is mainly what Naomi Watts feeling insecure in LA. It's kind of the bulk of the movie. It's incredibly hard to explain.
So I think you don't get a point then, Jordan. Damn.
Wait, Jordan can't explain it? He knows everything.
Yeah.
I know what happens in Mulholland Drive, but you have to kind of see. It's one of those you have to see twice.
I guess I'm just going to keep choosing movies until we get to one of the Greg's seen. All right, Kill Bill and Midsummer. Have you seen those two films?
I haven't seen Kill Bill all the way through.
What?
But you've seen Midsummer.
No.
Even Kris was like, what?
I mean, I miss a lot, but Kill Bill, come on.
I've got to go in for you, Greg. This is your last one. Swingers and Interview with a Vampire. I know you know what those two films are, so go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. I think you take the Swingers characters, Favreau and Vince Vaughn, right?
Yep.
And you give them really long hair, and you put them back in the era where Interview begins, and it's kind of the same movie as Swingers, but predated, set back into the whatever 1700s or whenever that was.
Okay, I guess I have another question. Are the Vince Vaughn and Favreau characters, are they vampires, or they're just normal humans just in that time period?
I think they start off as normal humans.
And then they get bitten. Okay, so it kind of does follow the Interview track line.
They pick up like a pod of female vampires.
Okay.
Right. And then what was the girl's name?
Heather Graham?
No, from Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, Kirsten Dunst?
Yeah, that's it. Kirsten Dunst, yeah. And it's her, and she's the same age, which makes it twisted.
So they deserve it.
Yeah, no, they have it coming. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So a couple creepos in the 1700s getting turned into vampires and listening to swing music, I assume still.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It comes back every 150 years.
Yeah, it's the whole diner vibe.
All right. What is your title, Greg?
It's a good question.
That's a good question by Greg. That's a good merger, Greg. All right, George, it is your time in the spotlight. I'm going to choose two films for you now. Ocean's 11 and Heathers. You've got a reroll if you want one.
Do a reroll.
Do a reroll. All right. The Birdcage and Independence Day.
That's a good
nice.
All right. Well, so I don't think I've seen Birdcage.
Okay, so I will offer a free point to anyone that will explain Birdcage in detail to George.
Nathan Lane and Robin Williams run a drag queen club that they live above. And then the son of Robin Williams, who's straight, is trying to impress and be engaged to a Republican senator's daughter, and hilarity ensues over dinner.
Okay, so now match that with Independence Day and Aliens.
The senator being played by late great Gene Hackman.
Yeah, of course, Gene Hackman.
Okay, so we're just gonna roll with whatever I say. Okay, so the drag queen club situation. So we have a club owner who learns that Earth is being attacked by aliens. And the club owner realizes that there's a Republican senator that wants the aliens to take over. So the club owner has the son who wants to be with the Republican senator. And in fact, the club owner would like to be with the senator and not let his son have that love. It's kind of a Romeo and Juliet kind of vibe.
Big stakes, Romeo and Juliet.
And then we get Will Smith flies in and he's the Republican senator.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Do you have a title for us, George?
Queen Dependence Day.
Queen Dependence Day by George. A merger.
A merger.
All right, Dalton, you're the last one to go. I'm going to choose two films for you now, Dalton. And those two films are Cruel Intentions and Nightcrawler. Would you like to have a reroll?
I've never seen Cruel Intentions.
Okay, I can offer. I can have someone. If someone knows it well enough, I can offer up a point for them.
I feel like I might know enough about it. I've
Just
never watched. Yeah.
You do have a reroll if you'd rather take another chance.
I might fuck myself with that. No, let's do a reroll. Everyone else got one.
All right.
All the cool kids are doing it, Dalton.
Ooh, I'm kind of glad you did. It's a Wonderful Life and Ed Wood.
Nice.
I feel like those kind of do pair well together. So yeah.
Okay. Well, Ed Wood is this B-movie filmmaker who also has a very overt feminine side that he likes to show sometimes. Just kind of like an all-around kind of like crazy, eccentric character sometimes. So he's making these films, he's making these B-movies, and he's actually not having so much luck with them, and he's starting to feel down and out, and he's thinking, I'm going to throw this away. I'm not going to make these movies anymore. I'm not feeling in touch with my feminine side anymore, with my creativity anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. So then an angel or some shit shows up and is like, no, you've got to keep making these B movies because this is what will happen if you don't. And he shows him like Donald Trump gets elected and shit just goes into chaos and everybody dies because everything's shit. But then he's like, you can't like stop making these B movies because that's going to happen. And so Ed's like, well, yeah, I got to keep making B movies.
Okay. What's your title?
Ed Wood.
Okay. All right. That is all of our mergers. I got to make some tough decisions. All right. I am going to give 3 people 5 points, and those 3 people are Justin's Cellar Door War,
Okay.
George's Queen Independence Day, and Dalton's Ed Wood. You guys all get 5 points. And Lee, you picked up another point for explaining what Birdcage is to George.
Thanks, Lee.
You're welcome.
This game is called New Movie Old Title.
This is New Movie Old Title Roulette. I will choose a contestant, and he'll pick one of the other contestants and give them the title of a real movie that they must craft a new plot for. Once they are done, they'll choose another contestant and so on. After everyone has had a turn, everyone will vote for their favorite, excluding their own, of course, and the winner will receive 10 points. So George is going to choose another one of the contestants and then give them the name of a real movie that exists in our world, and that person will have to craft a new plot that will fit that title. So,
Okay.
George, who is your contestant and what is their title?
I'll go with Jordan.
All right, Jordan. And what's his title, George?
Midnight Run.
Midnight Run, Jordan. I need a new plot that will fit the title, Midnight Run.
Oh, that's funny. I think I didn't you have that on VHS in the apartment? I think I remember watching that on VHS. Yeah. Okay.
Still have it.
Yeah. Midnight Run is a vampire movie. It's like a post-apocalyptic kind of like vampire world, kind of like I Am Legend-ish, but there's like communities of humans that are still active, not just like the one guy. And they have to do a like. Normally, they're only the humans only go out during the day, and the vampires only go out at night, right? They have this kind of like balance worked out, like in the book I Am Legend, kind of. And but somebody is, I don't know, probably like pregnant or something like that, or some kind of like medical thing is like emergent, you know what I mean? And so the characters are going to have to make a midnight run to get to a place where they can get assistance, even though they will be like under attack by vampires the whole time or whatever. So you can get a little bit of like maybe even like a Fury Road kind of thing happening too, where it's like a vehicular action assault kind of movie, right? Where it's all about like getting from one location to another location and like surviving that journey. And they don't, it's not even like it's very far. It's just like intense. So that's what Midnight Run is.
Okay, that's Jordan's Midnight Run. Hopefully you have wowed the dais enough to get these 10 points out of this game. Or which contestant are you going to choose, and what is their title?
Dalton. and
Okay.
the title I'm going to give him is Goldfinger.
Okay, Dalton, I need to hear a new plot that would fit the title Goldfinger. You got a lot to work with there, so
All right. It's an adaptation of King Midas.
an adaptation of King Midas. Who's a star? Give me a star.
Let's go with. He's my King Midas here.
Who's my King Midas?
Let's go with I want a Jason Momoa King Midas. Like
Okay, Jason
I
Momoa
want
is
him
King
like
Midas.
a little bit younger, but like somebody like kind of Let's go with.
Well, very cool, very cool. All right, which contestant are you going to choose, and what is their title going to be?
Oh, Kris.
All right, Kris.
Probably not gonna be a gimme like King Midas, huh?
What's the title going to be?
How about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
All right, Kris, I need
Fear
to hear a
and
new
Loathing.
plot that would fit the title Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Loathing in Las Vegas. So it has to do with it'd be a bit more of a period piece because I don't think these exist in modern day. It's car wash attendants. It starts out with just the normal everyday humdrum of their really dead end job. You might say their washed up careers. When they accidentally scratch the paint on a mobster's car.
Okay.
And the whole rest of the movie is them running for their lives while still trying to make their job every day because they got to pay their rent.
A true American tale. Okay, who? Give me some stars.
Oh gosh. Oh god, I know his face and I can't think of he was in Kick-Ass and he was in what the hell's he been in?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Probably curly hair
Okay.
and
Yeah.
He'd be one of my stars.
Craven the Hunter.
Yeah, that's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Kris, as by way of Dalton. Who is your contestant going to be, Kris, and what is their title? You've got Greg, Justin, Lee, and Matt left to choose from.
How about Matt?
Okay, and what is Matt's new title?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Matt, I must now hear a plot that will match the title One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Well, it's an animated movie.
Okay.
Starring, let's go with Steve Carell's voice.
Okay. I know that guy.
Basically about a crazy owl and his family, and an adventure that they go on. I'll just leave it generic like that.
Okay. All right. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Matt by way of Kris. What contestant are you going to choose between Lee, Justin, and Greg, and what is their title?
Oh, let's go with Greg.
Okay, Greg.
And let's go with Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. All right, Greg, you know what comes next. I need to hear a new plot that would fit the title Man of Steel.
Okay, think of the world from Boogie Nights.
Okay.
With pigs?
You take
pigs.
Yes, with the no pork in this one. Only porking.
Okay, leaving the ham in the deli.
Yeah, the ham stays in the deli. And it's Mark Wahlberg's character, right? Only he's much older, and he still has his amazing skill set, if you will, but it fails to work without enhancements. There's like a pool of water in the Amazon, okay, and he's got to get to the pool of water, and he has to bathe in it, obviously naked, so the water can do its saucy stuff, and to become the Man of Steel and regain the throne of his particular industry.
So how Dirk Diggler got his groove back is your pitch?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect. That's Man of Steel by Greg by way of Matt. All right, between Justin and Lee, who do you want to choose, and what is their title going to be?
How about Lee?
Okay.
Dead Poets Society.
All right, Lee, you know what's next. I need to hear a plot that would fit the title Dead Poet Society.
Okay, Dead Poet Society in coming 2027.
Okay. Give yourself some time to get it right.
So there is a high school girl who she is going to class. It's like the craft, but they're equally into literature as they are witchcraft and Wiccans, and so they use their powers to summon dead poets to uncover writings that have been lost to time. And so there's big scenes of hailing the gates of the witches of the gates of the east and the west and the north and the south and other directions that are of other worlds. And they bring up new literature that they then take and write into books, and then in a Black Mirror-esque jump in time, they end up taking those writings and being like an L. Ron Hubbard of Scientology, but of their own Wiccan futuristic religion that ends up taking over the world.
Okay, yeah, I dig that. That's a nice one. All right, that's Lee's Dead Poet Society by way of Greg. All right, George, I need to hear a plot that will match the title Airbud.
Airbud. All right. Okay, here we go. So this is a story about a family who's gone through some hard times, and a young man acquires we're just going to keep this in the vein of this evening, acquires a pig, and the pig's name is Bud, but the pig can talk to the kid, and turns out they like to cook together, and the kid gets a little job at a restaurant and starts to struggle with working at the restaurant, but the pig teaches him how to cook, and teaches him how to cook something from his childhood that makes him feel good, and the restaurant owner loves it. So the pig helps save the day at the restaurant. And the irony is that it's a BLT. It works though. The restaurants love it. Whatever. That's all I got.
We've had pigs fucking pigs. Now we've had pigs eating pigs. So yeah. Can't wait to see where we go from here. That is George's Airbud by way of Justin. Okay, so these are our pitches. Dalton had Goldmember. George had Airbud. Greg had Man of Steel. Jordan had Midnight Run. Justin had Kids. Kris had Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Lee had Dead Poet Society, and Matt had One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Everybody gets a vote. So let's start with Kris. Whose pitch are you going to give your vote to that it can't be your own?
There's some really good ones, but I got a good laugh out of the ratatouille with the pig making the bacon sandwich. So I'm going to give mine to George.
Okay, Kris is giving his vote to George. Dalton, you give it to someone else's, but not your own.
I'm going to go with Lee's pitch.
Okay, the Poet Society. It's a good one, for sure. All right, George, who are you going to give it to?
I'm going to go with Lee's also. I enjoyed that.
Okay, 2 for Lee so far. Greg, who are you going to give yours to?
I also like what Lee did.
Ooh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Getting hairy here. Greg also says Lee. Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of, now I don't want to give it to Lee, but but I did like it. It sounded like a real movie.
All right, Jordan is also giving his to Lee. Lee, who are you going to give yours to?
Greg.
Greg's getting Lee's point. Matt, who are you giving yours to?
I think I'm going to go with George.
George. 2 for George. Lee did get 4 votes, so Lee is going home with the points.
So he's in the
So-
lead.
Yeah, he does.
Or maybe he's really won some leeway. I'll see myself out.
So Lee is winning the 10 points for New Movie Old Title Roulette with his Dead Poet Society. It was a good one. Good pitch.
Thank you. I pulled it out of my ass.
Good. As you're supposed to on this show.
Right.
So.
This game is called Dream Project.
This is Dream Project. I will name an actor, and you will each choose your dream project that you'd like to see them star in. I expect these to go a little bit quicker. I will rate each project and award you each up to 10 points. Our actor for tonight is Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Matt, let's start with you. What is your dream project for 50 Cent?
I think he could be one of the major villains in the Marvel universe. There's with Kang, them having to replace and everything. I think he could take over that role.
Okay, but Matt's dream project is Kang. I give that 7 points. All right, Lee, you're next. What is your dream project for Curtis 50 Cent Jackson?
My dream project for 50 Cent is to see him star in a remake of a movie with, I believe it was Reese Witherspoon and Tobey Maguire, Pleasantville.
Okay. Which role would he be playing in that film, Lee?
You know what? I'm just going to go Tobey Maguire.
You're gonna put a right Tobey Maguire's role. Okay,
Yeah.
Very cool. So he's a teenager, and who just sits around watching an old television show. Okay.
Well, I'd like him to, if he could be 50 Cent in that environment as well. I think that would add something to it.
For sure. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that 6 points. All right, Kris, what's your dream project for 50 Cent?
A prequel vehicle. A prequel to Shawshank Redemption, where he's playing Young Red.
Oh, wow. Yeah, for sure. Okay. This is going to depict him cutting the brake line that kills his wife? I believe that's what he goes to jail for. So it's kind of like, and that is it before it leads into that, or it's just him as a kid, or
Yeah, somehow building up to how we ended up in Shawshank, the things that led up to the final terrible, terrible decision that he made.
yeah. I'm gonna give you 7 points for that, Kris.
All right, Justin, what is your dream project for 50 Cent?
I would love to work with Mr. Cent Jackson on a rethinking of Fight Club, obviously called Into Club. Of course, the big twist with the original Fight Club, spoilers, is that there is only one actual person between the narrator and the Tyler Durden character. In this one, it's a rethinking. Most people would have seen that already. They see that twist coming. In this one, there are two people. And Mr. Cent Jackson is playing both of them. He's playing Ed Norton's character as the narrator. He's also playing the Tyler Durden character. We're going to need some very creative camera framing in order to make this work, because we're going to have to keep it from pretty much everybody else that there are actually two of them. So I like Baz Luhrmann for it, because I think he could make very practical camera shots to get the other one off the frame so he could actually get out of there. But people would just write it off as, oh, he's being weird and artsy, because that's what he does in his movies. I think the Marla Singer character would be in on it. She would know that there are actually two of them and would be teaming up with one of them to convince the other that he has some issues, and maybe convince him that he's not real. And I kind of like Megan Good for the Marla Singer character.
I feel like you should, if you're going to go this way, you need to go all the way. He needs to play Marla too.
Ooh, I do kind of like that. But the twist ending, we would have
Sure.
a tale of two fitties.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's just the two of them.
All right. Justin's Into Club, his 50 Cent dream project.
All right, Jordan, what is your pitch for 50 Cent?
Let's go with a remake of 50 First Dates.
Perfect. Okay. Is he playing Adam Sandler's role? Is he playing Drew Barrymore's role? Is he playing Sean Astin's role?
I'll be honest, I've never seen the movie.
Okay.
It was the first movie I could think of with 50 in the title. Let's put him in the Drew Barrymore role. Isn't that funnier?
Okay, so Adam Sandler.
Is that funnier?
Yeah, it is. It
Yes.
absolutely is funnier.
Let's do that.
Okay, Jordan's pitch is to put him in 51st Dates. I love the synergy with all the 50s. All right, Greg, what do you see Curtis 50 Cent Jackson doing?
I think he would be amazing as Django.
Django. Okay, yeah. A new iteration. Do you still see it being directed by Quentin Tarantino? You think they're going to pick up another director? I mean, it's a series that's been done by many different. It's been handled by many different filmmakers.
It has to be Tarantino.
Has to be Tarantino.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you 7 points for that, Greg. George, what do you think? How do you see him?
I would like to see him do a Peter Pan story like Hook.
Okay.
I think he would be Rufio in my story.
It's a Rufio. Like, is it a prequel or is it a set aside story to the main story? Is it a?
I think you could do a side story, like a Rufio backstory.
Right, yeah. So like what he's doing when he's off camera in Hook, right? Okay, very cool.
And it intertwines with Robin Williams.
Okay, very cool. I like that. I'm gonna give you 7 points for that.
I like the idea of making a movie that intersects with Hook in that way, with so little concern for continuity.
Yeah, the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to Hamlet would be for Hook. Yeah, I love that idea. All right, Dalton, what is your dream project for?
You actually led right into where I was going. It's an adaptation of Hamlet, but he plays every character.
I'll give you 10 points for that. Dalton gets the only full 10 of the night. All right, so we had Dalton's Hamlet with 50 Cent playing every role. We had George's Rufio, where he plays a side story to Hook as Rufio. Greg's throwing him in the Django role. Jordan is putting him in 51st Dates as the Drew Barrymore role, the one that has the memory problems. Kris is throwing him in the Shawshank Redemption prequel as Red. And Lee's putting him in Pleasantville as Tobey Maguire's character. And Matt placing Jonathan Majors as Kang in the MCU. And we don't have Justin, unfortunately. So at the end of the night, we do have a winner, and that is Lee with 20 points. We have another first season champion.
Good job, Lee. Good job, Lee.
You're going home with Turner and Hooch on LaserDisc, our first LaserDisc prize. So congratulations, you made history tonight here.
Thank you.
You also you're the only one, I think, with an active streak. I think there's maybe one other person that has won all their games, but you're the only person now that's still playing. So good job, Lee.
Wow.
I am inevitable. Eventually I will lose. That's what I meant. Yeah.
You know, I suddenly wish, Jordan, after you mentioned the 50, nobody threw out 50 Shades of Grey. I didn't even think about going that way.
All right, that's all for Filmwar. We have a new champion. All hail Lee. He is taking home a copy of Turner and Hooch on LaserDisc. Follow us on Bluesky @Filmwar. View our full video episodes at youtube.com/@Filmwar or at thefilmwar.com. Rate us, share us, kiss us, thrill us. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Until then, any last words?
Go watch something.
Watch something good.
Let's go Blues.
This will air after the Blues are already done, Lee, unfortunately.
Probably, yeah.
Unless they go all the way, baby. This might be just in time. I think this episode is releasing the same day that the new Wes Anderson picture is coming out, so you guys should go see that, and also check out our last episode, the Wes Anderson special. I just want to thank you guys all for being here for our 50th episode. I look forward to 100. I hope to have you guys all here for 100 too. Godspeed, guys.
Filmwar, a 1,000-yard stare production.